get here.
Which one of those coolers has beer in it?
I guess we can go ahead and get started.
Too early on the mic.
Miss Beasley, Nicole and I have been really trying to focus on what's going on here in our neighborhood, and we thought, you know, a lot of people are experiencing the same things and just don't know where to start, or really just don't even understand what's going on. So the purpose is for everybody to come together that can maybe help us, or we can help each other on coming up with ideas on how to make a change in what's going on here in Rockdale. As far as our situation over here, we have been trying to reach out to developers, the county, the city, and to no avail. We're not getting anywhere. So at this point, we need help and support from everyone to try to get this stopped, because if it happens over here, it's going to happen somewhere else and continue to keep happening. And it's not going to be Rockdale County no more. It's going to be Townhall County. And that's not fair to, you know, our elders we have here and people who moved here for that reason, for it to be secluded. And, you know, the trees, everything's gone now. And yeah. So we have Kenny Johnson. He can explain to you guys. Okay. So we got Kenny Johnson here. He works with the soil water conservation. He can really tell you, if you guys aren't seeing anything actually going on in the house, he can explain to you what's going on and what is going to happen if everybody doesn't come together with a plan to get them to stop doing what they're doing, or at least make sure they're doing it the right way, following the laws correctly, to make sure we are safe as a community. So Kenny, you want to clap it up for Kenny?
I would, but I dropped my phone. Sorry.
First, I want to say thanks for everybody to come out. This is your community. You should have a say in all policies in your community. This is my second term. My first term, it was to knock the door down and take the cover off the system. My second term is to teach the people exactly what the paperwork is about and how they are billing this. Right now, they're billing illegally. So I'm going to show you what the MOA, a lot of y'all don't know what the MOA is. The MOA is what give them the cover on billing things. But we have an outside group called Georgia Soil and Water Commission. You didn't elect them. And they're calling the shots. And they are making a lot of money for developers. But I'm going to make sure I show you the paperwork so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let me just give you a background who I am. I have a bachelor's science degree in safety technology. I've been trained in BODs, CODs, and RCRA. That was the first thing they did when I got elected. They said, we know who you are. They sent a federal agent to talk to me. Because I said when I first got elected, I'm going to remove that MOA. The MOA was about 38 years old. So they really didn't have any regulation in place.
What's the MOA stand for?
Memorandum of Agreement. So the districts are the last say-so to everything that's being built. And I'm gonna break it down so you can see what's going on. The district have 35 days to approve or disapprove. Who is the district? I am. You elected me. The other two, I'm not gonna say their name. One of them, we're gonna be at Board of Elections, State Board of Elections. Watch it on the streaming. He was on the ballot illegally. He wasn't that incoming. And so, basically, the whole person that's behind it, the people that's behind this, that's pushing this a whole lot, is the mayor, Mayor Benson. And I got paperwork, I got emails, and the DOJ is about to get involved in this too. This is your community. We got 60,000 gallons of raw sewage every month backing up in your community. How in the world are you gonna build? Well, you got bad infrastructure. We got 70-year-old pipes. See, they already know I'm a specialist. I'm a specialist. I know this old stuff. I worked in BODs. I worked in CODs. For those that know what I'm talking about, BODs is biological oxygen dissolve. That's when you flush your toilet. That's the waste facility that's right down here. And CODs is chemical oxygen dissolve. That's Biograde and what's that, Pratt? Those companies treat their own water. We don't have an inspection. So you can have formaldehyde or one of these pipes running through your community and you don't even know. Our code enforcers are horrible. Our engineers are horrible. We own about the third set of engineers since I've been elected. So right now I want to make sure I show you exactly what the MOA look like. Can you hold this for me? Can you pass that around? I just got a few, so I just want you to pass that around. No, I don't have more. Just pass it around. So I'm basically going to break it down and tell you exactly what it's about. If you look at that, you'll see that they have all district in here. It don't say nothing about Soil and Water Commission. That is an agreement between the county and the city. But the city is pretty much irrelevant. The city is not over the water authority. The water authority is the county. That means the county is under federal laws. Federal Clean Water Act, that's 404 and 402. 404 deal with the levees and wetlands. 402 deal with the streams and the lakes and the ponds. So when you look at that, you're going to see only 2 signatures that should be there, but they got 3. Georgia Soil and Water Commission shouldn't be on there. That's by law. There's only one that's supposed to be on there is the district, which is me, and the chairman. That's it. That's who y'all elect. Y'all do not elect Georgia Soil and Water Commission. That's the only 2 that's supposed to be on there. So when we rewrite the new one, because right there, that's illegal, because I removed it. And so they was around here lying, talking about, oh, Judge Nancy Beal ruled against him. Judge Nancy Beal never ruled against me. She told me I couldn't sue state elected officials because we have sovereign immunity. That's what we're going on. So when you see them put my picture in the paper and all of that, that was for to throw you guys off. That it didn't affect me because they couldn't sue me or do anything to me. So if you look in that can put all regulation in there. That can put regulation in there about blasting. That can put regulation in there telling them how many houses to build. And then the next regulation will be the board, where the board can improve the building codes. Our building codes are like 60 from back in the 70s and 60s. But you upgrade our building codes to 2024, you a builder, you know, the material is too high. They're not trying to build those 200 houses. They're not trying to build 100. And so that's why they focused on Rockdale County. Because your building codes are 1970s and 60s. You improve your building codes, say like the roof. Okay, that's a 3-tab roof. Cheap. It'd be done in about 5 to 10 years. But if you put an architect roof in there, that's lifetime guaranteed. You tell a builder he got to build all these houses with architect roofs.
20 to 30 year shingles.
You tell him you gotta build an architect roof, he's gonna look
20.
at you like, oh, I'm not building no 200 houses here.
Depends on if you buy certainteed or not.
We
I'm
get a
about-
lifetime now, though. They lifetime now.
Oh, are they? Okay, lifetime guarantee. Thank you.
They'll tell you,
I've
hold
been
up,
10
I
years
ain't building no
out of
100 houses here.
Exactly.
So that's what you got going on. So right now, the city, County Albrook, them are putting in place to improve their coding, their building codes. Guess what came out? Here come D.R. Horton. We'll sue you because you doing, you stopping us from building. No, we're not. All we doing is improving our building codes. So this is why you got to get involved. We on the front line as your elected official, but a lot of us have done a poor job informing you exactly what's going on. So this MOA have to go. And you have to remove Georgia Salt and Water Commission. They do not have power over the districts. They're gonna quote to you OCG 2633, OCG 2620. That don't give them the power over state elected officials. They are appointed, political appointed group that goes around to all this, because I helped the folks over there in Walton County to get rid of that Copeland. Y'all didn't know that we was working hand in hand trying to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of that doggone mining. The only reason why I start back up, because I had to fight Georgia's Salt and Water Commission and the mayor and Sherry Washington. So they intimidate the DOT, so I have to go higher. Now I have to go after the bonds. That's the same thing we're gonna have to do with this instruction here. They're called land disturbing bonds. They have to put a bond in place to do anything. But I think the bond's a little too low. So, I mean, I'm a federal contractor. I do inspection for HUD. My bonds have to be $50 million. You talking about major developers. Their bonds should be at least $200 million. So when you guys have problems with your house, you should be going after the bonds. You see how it works? Now, there's one other thing with this MOA. Once they do the inspection, I'm gonna show you the inspection chart, how they have to do the inspection. What Georgia Salt and Water Commission is doing, they're getting people from Calhoun, Georgia, to do your inspection for your permits.
Talk into
They
the
don't live
mic.
here.
Talk into the mic.
They don't live here. So I'm gonna show you the paperwork. And so once they do an inspection, they have to send it to the district. So right now I'm saying, who in the district is signing this paperwork? Who's signing this erosion paperwork? I'm gonna show you. And it's supposed to, yeah, you know, if it come to me, they know doggone well what's gonna happen. It ain't gonna be signed. If they don't have no green space in here, we ain't getting nothing. I'm looking at green space and I want a golf cart community. I already talked to DOT, they'll say, yeah, we can draw it. We're getting ready to do bridges in here. Yeah, we can put roads in here for a golf cart community. We stuck the smallest county. Wake up, we the second smallest county. And they're building us like we a little city. Asphalt and cement. Asphalt is D0021. That's Creosote. So when it get hot, that's why they tell you do not go outside if you got respiratory problems. I know my chemicals. I'm a specialist at it. So that's what's going on. You don't want that here. We have very good lakes and streams all up in North Rockdale. We can't let them destroy. We got about 8 to 9 mining companies lined up trying to come in here.
Wow.
8 to 9 lined up. You know how much, you know what the dust from that gonna do to you? That's carcinogens. That's why I'm fighting like hell to try to get that removed. They're using that to build countertops. We didn't ask for that to come in here. The only way you're gonna stop that is through this MOA. That MOA is illegal right now. David Shipp is not a district supervisor. And they signed that while I was in court with Judge Nancy Bill. Then they told you guys, oh, we got an MOA. No, they don't. So I want to show you one more thing. Hold it.
Just want to point out, so while you're looking through, I quickly reviewed that MOA. It only talks to land erosion and water conservation. It doesn't point to things like whether you're doing capacity studies. There's other factors when you're going to build.
Yep.
Can the infrastructure support it? There's so many other aspects when you decide to build in an area that you need to address. Not just looking at whether your water and land system can support it. There's more than that, because there's existing homeowners that you're impacting.
Yep.
So if you're not looking at that, not only from a structural standpoint, this community in particular, they knew that this community was built in the 70s. When it was designed and built, it had forest behind it. When you remove that, you get land to shift. You get the structure to shift. Do you do studies first to see the impact, or you just look at water and erosion? There's more than that. There's shifting of land. There's a lot of things in older communities that you have to do analysis on before you can just give developers the right to go and develop. Those are the type of things I'm hoping that the new administration will be looking at. Not just water and erosion. There's other factors that need to feed into that decision making of whether you allow something to be developed or not, especially in existing communities.
And another thing, they're going to connect to your pipe system that is 60, 70 years old. So that means you're going to have leaks. That means you're going to have sinkholes. If it ain't happening now, I guarantee you it's going to happen. Over in McCarthy Landing, I disapproved that. I'll show you the paperwork. And they went around me and built it anyway. These people got sinkholes. They have $500,000 homes. They got sinkholes. All right, let me just pass this around. This is the soil erosion paperwork that the districts have to sign, or nothing is being built. The district have 35 days to sign this. We can allow it, or we can disapprove it. So right now, you should be asking the question, who signed that? Did George Kalitek sign it? Did Jacob Bailey sign it? Who signed this? That's the only other two you elect. Because I definitely wouldn't sign it. They know I'm not going to sign it. This one, last one, you do looking at what that was with the school, that administration building. I told them that they had sinkholes around that. And I told them I'm not going to be responsible for that. And I also told them, you got two streams that run underneath the city of Conyers. How you know that? Well, if you've done your homework and know the landscape, you will know it. So this is what we got going on. The last, again, I'm gonna let you know, the last people to make the decision is not the board of commission or the city or the, what they call them, the zoning board. It's the district. And so Soil and Water Commission, which is under the governor, which is controlled by the developers, have to control the district. They can't control me. Because I live here. And I don't need their money. And that's their problem. They already offered me contracts. I don't need their money. I'm good. So I remember telling my wife when I was gonna run for this office. She was over in Kuwait. She was a principal, and she said, "I'm coming home." I said, "You don't need to come home. I'm gonna be fine." I said, "I'm gonna win." She said, "I already know that. Well, what I know is you ain't gonna keep your damn mouth shut." And soon as I won and I told them I'm going to remove that MOA, we had a car that had a front end damage in the driveway, and I had negotiated with the insurance company to say it was total, and I was going to get the full title. And the insurance company said, "You must be an inspector." I said, "Yeah, I am." So, because they wanted to send it to the junkyard or to resell it, and I said no. And so the next day, I'm looking at a police officer in my yard putting a orange tag on it, and I said, "What's your problem?" And so it was the city. And so the city was mad because I was getting rid of the MOA. Who's benefiting with that MOA? Look at 138 and look at Tony Lucas. Over there where that tall liquor store, you got that that apartment complex and townhouses.
Behind it.
Okay, that was Tony Lucas' property, 40 acres.
That was the Vaughn's property.
No, the Vaughn's property is behind
Miller
Kmart.
on Miller Chapel.
Behind,
thought
yeah,
that
Miller
was
Chapel.
Vaughan.
That's Kmart.
I
I'm
thought
talking
that's
about
what
the
you-
one that's over by
Behind
now
Target.
here.
Uh,
That's Tony Lucas. That's 40 acres. They said they were going to build $1 million homes.
so Vaughn was across the street that backs up to Publix, and Tony Lucas's was on the other side
Now
of
you got
Miller
it.
Chapel behind Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
So you know Tony Lucas' wife is a developer.
Mm.
She's the richest woman in this county. So, yeah, I know the dots. I have a lot of the
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah.
I have a lot of the folks here that called me, and I always tell me, you just stay in the background. I got you, and they put the dots together for me.
Mhm.
So I know the ones that have 20 acres or more, and I know everybody because they call me because I call NRCS, which is the USDA, and I make sure that they take care of them and bring money into their properties. So I'm the only one that have brought in money from USDA. So, and that I shouldn't be the only one. All your elected officials should be bringing money in from these federal agencies.
Instead of the ARC.
Yeah. So my next focus is USDA, not just USDA, but EPA and OSHA and all the rest of them. They already know I'm going to be signing a partnership with them to bring more money in here. So, get everything for y'all to understand is the MOA. And I can't fight them all by myself. I need you guys to speak up about it because there are only two names that's supposed to be on this MOA that's coming up. Van Nance and Kenny Johnson. That's it. You know what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to be calling all of y'all and making sure you guys are involved. See, they've been keeping this for a secret. They've been making that. I mean, nobody against you making no money. I'm a business owner. But do it the right way. That's all we talking about. Do it the right way. Don't build this mass stuff. First of all, this is what we always do. We always do phase one. They're not even doing phase one. They're doing phase one, phase two, phase three. They're doing a clear cut. That's one thing I want to make sure that is on the books for Rockdale Commission that they put in, that you can't do no clear cutting in Rockdale County. That is hurting the people. Now, I done did all the talking. If you got any more questions, let me know so I can answer it for you. But
Mr. Johnson, I appreciate the time. My name is Tony Smith. What can we do as trying to get together?
Pass the microphone, please.
Yeah.
So my name is Tony Smith. What can we do as the citizens to make sure we do something? This just not a meeting where people come out and nothing gets done. It might not be your subdivision today, but tomorrow it could be your subdivision. They're doing mass building all over Rockdale and the people losing. And nobody's done anything. As you see, these people have been voted out and they still just as dangerous as they were elected. Before they leave out, they're going to make sure that the citizens are going to pay for voting them out. I want to know what can be done, and not just I came out here to support because I want to see something done. I've been connecting with Anisha and Nicole, talked with them before the election. Want to make sure something gets done before all of us become victims. And we victims now, whether we know it or not. If they start that rock blasting, you can't do rock blasting unless you sitting on some water. That's what y'all don't realize. If they do blasting, you can't do it on dry land. They're going to be on a stream and a large body of water, which means they're going to be pulling water out from here, natural clean water, and they're going to be putting trash back in it. Yeah, I'm trying to say you just the water. I mean, altogether, we're going to lose. If those blasting companies start, they're going to do it on water. So what he's telling y'all is definitely the truth, and we need to do something and not mess around and just be sitting around talking and people not being proactive. The news need to be involved. Other social, I got my live Instagram on. People need to know about this, and we need to be aggressive as Rockdale County citizens, Kanye citizens, whatever. This needs to stop. If people need to go to jail, they need to go to jail, friends or not.
Amen. It's criminal.
That's what's got to stop. Everybody got to stop playing the friend game. Let people go to jail. That's the only way you're going to stop it. When criminal charges are filed and people go to prison, then people going to realize this ain't the place to play. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
What's his answer first?
Yeah. What's
First
your
thing we
answer
got
to
to do,
that?
we got to file an injunction and put a stay in.
And that's the attorney?
Yeah. And I already told him I was going to make sure I give money to him.
I agree to donate money, am I correct?
I say 1,000, but I'm going to do 1,500, so we can go on and get
I'm going to
this
match it
moving.
1,500. Okay. That's 3,000.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and speak to that. We have spoke to an attorney. We were trying to get everybody together that's in the group, that's the community. As far as
Your name is?
Quenisha, as far as retaining him. So we were trying to get the injunction, and they don't want to do it separate. They want to do the injunction with the lawsuit together. And with that, the lawyer would need everybody's damages, all their concerns, anything like that. We were having issues, or we still are having issues, for people who have not sent the information over to him to make the retainer fee cheaper. Yes, them donating would help, but if they're charging $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 retainer fee, he was trying to get it where it's broken down. If we had everybody in the community could, put in together. So that's where we're at with that. I also reached out to another attorney to see if we could get just an injunction with just a different attorney. And also with her, she said that we would need to get a engineer over here to come and basically co-sign what we're saying and have the proof to go in and do that. So our issue here is having people to submit the paperwork that needs to be submitted. I mean, I try to put it in the group chat for everybody to see it and kind of keep reminding, but I can only do so much.
What's your deadline?
Our deadline was last week.
So like yesterday, y'all need to have this
Our
in.
deadline was
What do you need? Do you need every resident to send you an individual email listing their damages, or?
we needed
Yes.
everyone to send everything to the attorney. So since everybody could not get on the same page for the Zoom meeting that he was trying to have, so he can explain exactly what it is that they need from us to go ahead and get it started, she said have them reach out to me. I put the email into the community message. Once you send it out to them, she'll reach out to you guys, and then she can explain to you what's going on and what the fees are and
Can I ask for hands on everyone who feels like their property here in Mountain Valley Estates have been directly affected by this project? That they know that.
Linda,
I
especially.
just want to see everybody's hands and how many it is. And,
Two.
yeah.
How many people
One.
been affected?
How
in
many
the
people have been
know they've been
affected? That they feel it's
Because you have
directly, that they have damages directly from this project? So the 5?
We got 3
1,
on the side.
2, 3.
And a lot of people don't live here.
I know, I understand that. So people who live here understand. I live here, so I know what I'm. The question is, if you live here and you have damage, and you want that damage looked at, taken care of, please raise your hand. Now, when I look around, 1, hands up, 2, 3,
4,
8,
5.
8 or 9.
6,
Yeah, I got 8.
You got to lay those. You saw
You got a lady in back.
7.
7.
Sorry. So 7. And maybe we're missing somebody who's not here.
Right.
So they're under 10 people. So you're not going to get a huge amount sending stuff in, but you should get 5 to 10 people. Have you gotten 5 to 10 people yet sending you their damages to the lawyer?
We have had 3 people confirm that they have sent their information over. That's all we have right now, but it's not just about the damages, and it's more about what is going to continue to happen if we don't get them to at least stop. That's the whole point of this. It's not you saying
No, it is. You said you wanted damage. You said you wanted
the damages and concerns.
the
And
lawyer
concerns.
wanted to know
Damages
what
and
the
concerns.
and
So what I'm saying is, in order to get an injunction, we're trying to get them to stop doing what they're doing. Number one, to at least assess what they're doing over there is affecting us over here. So for the lawyer to have the evidence they need and to file the injunction for us, that's what we need. They need the information of what's going on over here.
So I can say I have no damages. I can say to this lawyer, and I haven't gotten to her and you've asked me to, because I don't have any damages. I have concerns for my neighbors and my neighborhood, but she was looking for, is that what she's looking for? Because I don't have anything that I would be able to stand up in front of anybody and say I have suffered and I need help.
So we know down the line what will really be the evidence that we need, in addition to definitely each homeowner who has damage submitting that to the lawyer. It's for an engineer to come out, because the engineer will tell us not only the current impact but future impacts. And we know somewhere down the line we're going to need that to be done, and we need to have that information to a lawyer. Unfortunately, we probably can't afford that right now, so what we're going to use is what we have from the homeowners. But yeah, down the line, because my home is not directly affected yet, but my neighbors is, so I know it's just a matter of time.
I just have something to bring forward now. I think I can speak loud enough. I'm pretty loud.
We got you.
When this whole thing started and we went before the commission on the first meeting, a lot of these people here, I didn't see them, okay? And everybody knew, and we went around and we sent letters in everybody's mailboxes, and we said, we've got a problem now. We need to join together now. And did we get a showing? We got a showing, and it was kind of poor. So when we went before the commission, and Oz didn't even show up, and that was another slap in the face for a former person of Mountain Valley Estates not to come and at least show his face for his fellow neighbors that he used to have, was very telling about what they were planning on doing. But the aggravation came in when everybody had to sign in and go ahead, and then they would call people, and there was a time, and understand that they don't have all night to hear everybody's complaints, but they listened to as many as they could. And then George Kelichek, who, I mean, God bless that man. He goes before them every single time and gets beaten down like a dog, but he never stops biting. I mean, the man is vicious. And he's right. He is like, I just want to save the Rockdale County. Where I was going with this was, we did what we could the first go round. We didn't get much movement with the group of developers, and we weren't happy with that. Even as a short group that we demanded that they meet with us, and we met at Cherokee Run, and we had another meeting with the developers. Now, from that meeting, there were lie after lie after lie. And there were people that are unfortunately no longer with us today that were at that meeting and saying like, hey, what you're planning on doing up there, it is going to destroy homes. You cannot blast up there, nor did they even tell us they were going to blast up there. They just started blasting. They didn't warn anybody, and since they've been up there, there's been times where they started going at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was on the phone with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department. I said, I am going to give you the opportunity now to shut it down right now, because if I have to go up there and shut it down, it's not going to be very nice. And they were like, yeah, they shouldn't be up there running their machinery before 8. They know this. And they still started doing that.
Oh, that's over here?
That's over here, yeah. When they first started, I was like, no, you can't do that. You have to follow the protocol, and you can't be running at 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning, running chainsaws at 7:15. You have to wait till 8. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to speak to as far as you saying that they had already done this. See, I did not know any of this. I didn't get
No,
involved
right.
with meetings and stuff. I did
Yeah.
not know anything about this
Yeah, you
stuff
know why?
nothing.
It's stupid. They put a little sign up on 138, and if you were driving at 55 miles an hour, you were not going to see that sign.
It's on purpose.
Nobody knew it
That's
was
what they
there,
do.
and so that's why we sent out the letters, and Sophie was there. We tried to get everybody involved,
clue.
and we knew what was going to happen. We knew that, like, on the back end,
This was January of 2023, right?
yeah,
Last
we,
year?
I think
Well,
so.
I had no
On the
clue.
back end, we already
Well, my
told them.
house is right there. Like my
Yeah.
house is right there at the bottom, so it's like right here by my house.
Yeah.
So now for me, and y'all can put me on there. Now they have a problem because now I'm
No,
involved.
they were
And I
told we're
won't
going to have
stop.
flooding, we're going to have this, we're going to have that. And that gentleman was 100% right, because we did stand up. We did what we needed to do to get started. And basically what we were told is you have choice A and choice B. Choice A is we're going to go ahead and build this development, which I wouldn't have been opposed to. Like, if homes would have been better, but they said, here's the other option. We're going to put a building up there. And they go, how do you like that? It's commercial. And so we thought about it, and I was like talking with people. I'm like, well, maybe the homes will raise our property values, but here's the other side of it. With that, we know that there's going to be an influx of people on the roads here. We already know, and I won't even go into the road problems we have here, because that's going to be a whole nother issue. And they were just like, well, it's either we're going to do commercial or we're going to do residential. And then we were trying to get some confirmation about what types of homes they were trying to build, because they weren't really forthright in how many units were going to come in, and they kept changing it. But we already knew the outcome before it got started. Not try to be pessimistic, but we saw all the writing on the wall, and everybody stood up for it, and they basically steamrolled us then.
If I may, my name is Brian Jenkins. I ran for chairman of the county, and Janice prevailed. But nevertheless, I love this gathering. My question is, where do you go from here? What is your plan? You have to devise a plan. I don't live in this community, but I'm here, and I will be here. You can use me, and you can use my voice, because I'm no nonsense, period. Never mind talk. All right, it isn't about talk, it's about action. My mother always told me, it isn't your words, it's your deeds. All right, and so I'm about action. What is the action plan? If there's no action plan, let's devise an action plan. We have to steamroll those who are preventing us from achieving what we're trying to achieve. Period. Period. It ain't about no niceties. This is your community. This is your investment. And so it's not about any niceties. It's about taking control of over your community. That's what this is about. Because if you come in my community and do this, oh, I will put a tent right in front of the doggone tractor, all right, and I would stay right there. And so I'm here as I was invited to come here, and I respect all communities in Rockville County, but we have to develop a level of cohesiveness so that we can send a message to the elected voters. How dare you think that you can even attempt to allow something like that in our community? And so then we must hold them accountable. This isn't about talk. It's about getting things done. I know I sound angry, guys, but I've just been hearing a lot of talk all over the county. And the county is falling apart because it's just talk. It's about action. It's about getting some things. Look, I'm investing my money in this. I don't want to, but they're taking my money. And so I want to hold them accountable. And so I come to these meetings and I hear talk. What's the action plan?
So I will say this: it seems like the county, the government has some type of approval process, checks and balances, but it seems like people are skating those or being able to avoid those. We need to find out what those processes and procedures are and hold people accountable to that.
Okay, we need to
if there's
establish
any
that.
loopholes in there, there's government people here. We need to make sure that the government people find out what the processes are from planning and development. When a developer first comes out and says they want to develop, what's the approval process?
Okay, well then we need to appoint you. We need to appoint you to that because you seem to have a tremendous amount of knowledge in that area. We also have a commissioner-elect, I believe, on the corner. All right, use her. All right, that's commissioner-elect. You all voted for her. All right, use her. And if she doesn't do the things that she needs to do, then we need to make that known publicly. That's what this is all about. It's not about niceties. It's about getting some things done. People run to say, I will do this. Oh, you will? Okay, then let's see you do it. All right, simple as that.
Can I say something? One thing that I've discovered in this past 2 years, they came out to Honey Creek behind my house D.R. Horton did. We fought for a year and a half. We got them denied. That means they had to go away for a year. Now we've got another developer that has come in, Inline Communities. They're wanting to do 375 houses, but it's not 620 that DR wanting to stuff down our throat.
Right.
They so once they go away for a year, but DR got smart. So they hire a lawyer to come represent them, or get the engineer to come speak for them, because Stephanie Hogan's a failure. She can't do it on her own. So they just did Potts Road. They withdrew right after they got to the planning commission.
Right.
They withdrew the night of the BOC meeting. So it's numbers. It's nobody can do anything alone.
Exactly.
Let me say that again. Nobody does anything alone.
Sure, let me speak to that.
Go ahead and speak, Chris.
My name's Chris Kern. I'm the leader of that group out there on Potts Farm.
Hold on, let me get the mic for you.
I'm the leader of that group out on Potts Farm. We've shut down DR twice, but what I notice and what you need to do here is organize better. Sending an email or dropping a thing on a mailbox is a good start, but it's just not going to have that lasting impact. Okay?
Right.
What we did was first you start off with yard signs. Simple, clear message. You don't get too wordy. Put a website address on there.
I got it.
It's got to be a clean, simple address, right? People driving
Stop
can see it,
drhorton.com.
right? Don't use 12 colors. Keep it simple. On the website, have a clear but concise message, but put links to social media, Facebook, Nextdoor, whatever. Bring the audience in there. We're a group of over 300 people. When you get 300 people, you get action, okay? And we've been very effective in our group at getting DR pushed back. Mr. Jenkins speaks of action. I can tell you how to get it done.
Oh, I want to say something. Hi, my name is Courtney Crawford, and I came to the last meeting that you had here. This is action, and then don't get discouraged. I love everything that's been said, and I'm glad that I got people. You're not wrong, sir, to act like you're angry and whatever. It is our lives that these people are trampling on. I had a house that I put in almost $500,000 that should be $1 million, and I'm almost homeless. And I'm not here. I mean, it's in the community of around the corner, but it's Rockdale. It is corruption when you, like you said, you put someone in position and they go, nah, yeah, thank you, we'll review it and get back to you. And then they get with their friends behind the door and go the other way and don't think they're going to answer to us. The way this group has come, this neighborhood has inspired me. It has taken my blood pressure a little lower, my medication, and I just did a 5-mile walk. And so the key is what you just said. I've been a realtor since 1997. So I have been here at Rockdale, love it. I don't have any kids, I'm not married. But I made a promise. I was coming to get my dream home. And 5.5 years ago, I did that. I found exactly what I wanted. I didn't have to buy. But I was very specific about the nature aspect, the spacing aspect, 4 miles from the hospital, 2 miles from the interstate. And then my greedy builder decided the lot next to me that should have been, most of the neighbors, 40 neighbors in my community, they thought it had not been disclosed. They thought it was common area. It was the serenity that brought us into it was something, tranquil. Well, he decided to do a hybrid plan, squeeze it to the side and cut all the corners. So I'm literally now, my full-time job is document what happened today and going to the planning office for someone to tell me in November on the 7th of 2022 that it can't be done. And then 2023 and 2 months later, here comes the construction again. And then no one in the office could tell me what changed. I thought we had setback limitations. I thought there was spacing issues. I know they're not following our covenants. So once again, it comes back down to, we're not crazy. They were not being accountable. They're not answering, to anybody. And I will tell you, this man here has been super. I don't have any sisters and brothers, but Mr. Johnson, I found him in the McCart destruction that's going on over there. And then he showed up, and in one phone call, he did more for me than the lawyers. And the lawyers have a place, but you guys are the show. You are the meat and potatoes of it. So I'm here to encourage you and tell you it's okay to be angry. My counselor says it's not so much what you think and but what you do. So by the time we get through the frustration, and this is our little support group, and then what I want to do, just moving forward, I have signs. We were trying to debate I would love you to support and do on my end, networking the social sites together.
We did it in 36 hours. So
That's right.
Exactly.
Short,
So I've been needing, and the lady that was asking for all the networking that you're talking about, I'm willing to come and with the list of whomever knows they have issues now, get that documented, because I've gone through the structural engineers, and I've more than one, and I've done the soil samples, and I've done out of pocket, and I've gotten support from people because my work is in Lake Oconee. So I've been there, so that's my home base actually, and my cleaning business is there. But my real estate and my heart has always been in Rockdale because I was a real estate broker as well. So that's what I'm willing to contribute, is to help you network and make sure everybody sign the list. And then you're talking about the meet organize. We'll do in-house internal Zoom meetings, and then we can assign who's going to this meeting, who's going to that meeting, and make sure everybody is synchronized as to what's going on. Because she's right here, like she said, she didn't know a couple of you. The handout stuff, I'm used to doing marketing. And there's other people, I'm not the only one. But like I said, once we get our talents on board, who can do what, that's how we're going to continue weekly.
Who is ready to step up and be part of a leadership committee of maybe half a dozen people to get those signs up, to take care of this, to bring in some things that they're working on? You know, I see Calvin. Maybe this gentleman wants to help us over here. That gentleman wants to help us over here.
Well, I'm at the top.
You know, Nikki is still here. Quinn is still here. We have people that should not leave today without saying, I am part of the leadership committee, and we are going to form
A committee.
and we're going to meet, and we're going to be getting in touch with you. You need to leave your name and make sure we have it. Who's going to take the names, so let's not walk away and let things go. We have to organize, you're right. And I think we can do it quickly when we have the right people. Nikki's done a great job.
She has a notebook.
Okay.
We got somebody to take
Let's
names.
start.
That for people who live in
Let's
y'all
start
community.
today.
Get them first. So and then I would just suggest if y'all know other names.
Honestly, we have all the names of the people here in this community. I think we do have an email, because we have an email chain already. I'm trying to see.
She walked off with the mic. She went to go get something.
You know, guys, what I've noticed, being in Rockdale County for many years myself, just like Brian mentioned, this is just not a this community problem. Chris had the problem. I went to a meeting last week, and there was a couple other people from other communities that had the same problem. And it's time to actually, for you communities, to actually organize a large community. It's time for you guys to organize a community against building in general, and cut it off and stop it before it gets to the community, right?
Consider it your HOA without the fees.
Yeah, I think you've got Chris, and I've watched him for the last 2 years with what he's done with that D.R. Horton thing, and he's really done a great job of organizing and building that network of over there. And you're right, you just keep pushing them off, right? And that's the battle. And I really think you guys need to reach out to Chris. Chris, you actually know a couple of other people who've organized, don't you? Yep. So I think first thing you need to do is reach out to Chris, get the names of those other folks who have organized, and it's just more than you. You need to, this large organizational group, and you fight this building thing all together, so that the codes, the city, the county, that everybody has to be in agreement about what they're going to do. And they have to have an idea what they're going to do with land management in Rockdale County, because they just keep amending things on the fly. to adjust to what somebody wants. Let's go. Somebody mentioned a minute ago, second smallest landmass county in Georgia, right? We probably have more land deals than any other county in Georgia. Okay, guys, do you know what the number one thing of corruption is in local government? Land deals. The chairman of Newton County just got suspended. Why did he get suspended for? Corruption in land deals. There have been too many land deals go on in Rockdale County. What that means is there's been too many payoffs going on in Rockdale County. You just got to follow the money, folks. Follow the money.
And weak building
That's what you got to
codes.
do. You guys reach out to Chris. Y'all organize, but organize beyond your community, because what he said, there's strength in numbers. There are strength. If you guys were 1,000 members strong, trust me, they'll listen to you.
We also got to hold government accountable.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
That's how
the
you do it with 1,000 people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's how
We've
you do it.
elected officials, and there's policies in place, and there's a process in place. We need to make sure that they adhere to that. And you can't bypass what those policies are, and you can't bypass the people. The checks and balances are there for a reason.
Okay. Kenny's an elected official, right? Tawanya is going to take office on the Board of Commissions. I'm going to take office on the Board of Education. But is there any other person that currently holds office at your meeting today other than Kenny? That's a problem, isn't it? You've had a community meeting today, and elected officials have not come to your meeting.
Were they invited?
That's a problem.
Were they invited?
Yep, they all see it on Nextdoor and Facebook. They all connected to me.
Do we need to take our yard signs and go hold them up somewhere? Because I'm ready.
Nobody personally invited me. I saw it on social media and I came.
Yeah, but you're part of the community.
Reposting it.
You've been elected by the community.
But it's still you,
I
Kenny.
have
I
an
saw.
obligation to go to the community
You do.
meeting.
You have an obligation.
Got another question over here.
I will make one quick point about the signs. I learned the hard way. Make sure it's on your personal property, not in the public right of way or out there
15,
by the
20
ditch.
foot back off the
Code
property
enforcement will
line.
yank them.
That's
You
the
got
right
those
of way
little
that the
stones in
county
your yard,
owns.
Those little square stones, it's got to be behind that.
Yeah.
If you got RW, that means that's the county. Y'all got those little stone, little
Right
In
away.
fact, they'll yank them even
gotta
in
be
your yard
behind that.
sometimes,
Right.
but I made them go get them back, so
little trick.
that's a different story.
You know, my name is Ivy Gayden. I'm not an elected official. I'm the commissioner chair write-in candidate. And I heard about this through Nicole, who did a great job going to the commissioners, you know, and it didn't get heard. So we all are aware that that's been the issue. Representation is no longer representing. They're ruling. But I think that one of the issues, we also have formed a group too of people, and I think this is great. As many citizens form groups working for the same cause, then we can be heard. Somebody said we need to organize, and we definitely need to organize, not just complain, but we need solutions. And I believe Tawanya's, Mr. Smith said that. And we do. We need to do that. But we've gotten rid of the puppets, not the puppet master.
Not all of them.
We've gotten rid of some of the puppets, not the puppet master. And I think that while we're in our groups, we need to dig deeper to who the puppet masters are. When it comes to the courthouse, we may not be able to stop it, but we need to dig down to who all was a part of the courthouse. It wasn't just the BOC. It's the PFA and the courthouse task force. Now, the BOC could not have approved that.
Could you not use letters? I don't know what these people are.
Oh, Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
And the Public Facility Authority and the courthouse task force. The courthouse, which is hitting us right now on top of all of this development, is going to cost us for many years to come. And the BOC alone did not approve that. They approved it, but they didn't make it happen. They didn't get those bonds released by themselves. There had to be people on the Public Facility Authority and the Courthouse Task Force which is online. If you Google it, they'll tell you those people helped to get this done to us. So if we only put out Commissioner Nesbitt and Sherry Washington, Commissioner Washington, we're not done. Well, somebody's behind them. They were working for somebody. And so as a community, we're going to have to Google. We're going to have to ask more questions. We're going to have to dig deeper.
So who'd they get the bonds through? Atlanta Regional Commission? Who'd they get the bonds through? The state?
Well, let me tell you this. State legislation, I don't know about the bonds.
You know the answer to that.
The judge approved the issuance of the bonds, and nobody was in court.
Which was Robbie. Which was Robbie.
And the PFA.
Who retired.
How did you get the PFA? Legislation.
Legislation.
Senator Tanya Anderson, and Brian Strickland.
Wow.
So there are people, and the PFA has been given the power that we used to have to do it, to issue bonds, capital projects. If we stop at just Commissioner Nesbitt and Commissioner Sherry, and don't forget Commissioner Williams, they're the puppets.
She got 2 more years.
They're the puppets.
And y'all need
We
to vote
have
that
to
one out.
identify the puppet masters. If not, the show goes on. The show will continue. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who gets into. It doesn't matter who's the next commissioner chair. It matters that we organize effectively, so that we don't spend another 16 years not being heard and not being effective. Tawanya Smith is not going to be able to do anything without the people helping her and us organizing effectively and having the courage to seek out the puppet masters.
Somebody, he wanted the mic up there.
Hi, my name is Janine. I'm new to this area. So my question is, as we talked about, what are next steps? Like you said, there's a lot of conversation, a lot of talking, where we go from here. So as far as the next steps, is it the injunction? Is it people contacting a lawyer? Should there be a deadline for that? You know, where should we go from here? Because there's a lot of energy here that I like and I'm excited about. But like you said, talk. I get very frustrated. So my thing is, where do we go from here? What are our next steps?
Renisha?
Well, I can tell you what I have done already. Right now, I'm in federal court because I want a consent decree. And what I did last week, I brought several of the HOAs together and we talked to Senator also. And I'm getting lined up to talk to Congressman Scott and Senator Warnock. So they all setting up a meeting for me. And so I'm bringing the HOA with me. I'm not being by myself. And so they already promised that they're going to have the Department of Justice getting involved. So this is criminal. This is criminal, point blank. And so also I'm just letting them know that these people have to be taken care of. All this damage, you can't just say, oh, wow, well, it's not us, it's the county. No, it's not the county. No, it's not the city. No, it's not us. Well, it's all of you. Point blank, that's what I've been telling about. It's all of you. Everyone who put their signature on that paperwork, it's all of you. And so I'm bringing in, I'm going to to Allsaw and the rest of them. Let me let you know, I go at anybody that's not taking care of the people. So when Allsaw and them was behind Oz Nesby and Sherry Washington, I sent them a message. We're not going to do the black card, and we're not going to do just blue Democrats. I am a Democrat, but when you got criminals, criminals have to go. I don't care who your party is. if you criminal and you taking out the people, I'm coming right at you. I'm a former undercover narcotics, so I'm going to follow the law. Simple as that.
You got one more back here.
I have a question. I don't need the mic.
Okay.
So we have someone coming out tomorrow to give us an estimate because we know there's some foundation stuff going on. Who do I submit that information to? I'm sorry. No.
Okay, just give me your number.
Okay. I'll make sure.
Make sure I get you the information. So to answer, I don't know, somebody just had a question and said, what's the next step? We need to pay for an attorney. Point blank, period. Like, we need to pay for an attorney so that they can,
And an engineer, so that we can get this show on the road.
Shake your mic.
I got EPD coming out next week
Oh,
to
no, I shouldn't.
put a stop work order over there.
Oh.
They can do it. How long would it take them to do that?
They coming Monday. They say they do used to be here Monday or Tuesday. I told them, you got to be here. So they're gonna come and put the stop work order and do a evaluation on the property and everything. So the reason why I'm telling them to do a stop work order, that give y'all, they have to give y'all time for an engineer to see how much damage you have, whether they keep. They need to need to give you guys enough time with engineers to see how much damage you have. So they need to do a stop work order.
How do you get that done?
Huh?
How do you get the stop work order done?
That's EPD coming in. Right now, the county and the city is not
It's
doing it
beyond
because they
them.
got too much skin in it. I never seen the county and the city do a project together. That don't make any sense. Because Tony Lucas owned the property. Tony Lucas live over in Greene County. He don't live here. So this is a problem what we got. And then I only seen them doing phase 1, and then you do another clean out for phase 2. You don't do the whole clear cut for the whole project. That's about 60 acres they're doing right now.
They probably
so
got
where's
to cut
all that
right deal
water
doing it
runoff
all at
going to?
once.
Neighborhood.
It's going through this neighborhood through y'all pipes and stuff.
What did I tell you when I talked to you earlier?
What?
You remember what I told you?
I don't remember too much.
About when we researched that address?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, tell it.
Yeah, that was
A lot of people don't know that.
That was Tony Lucas'
No, the
mom
other
house.
piece. The
That's
other
his mom.
piece. The other piece we discovered.
Oh, the 10 acres. Let me explain something to you. They might tell you that they are doing 30 acres. It might be another 10 acres that they want to include.
And they bought it the day the
They're
rezoning
supposed-
was done.
They're supposed to put
From the city.
right. They're supposed to do an NOI to you to inform you that they want to do another 10 acres. But what they do is they do the backdoor deal.
Notice of intent.
Mm-hmm.
On the acronym, she was saying no acronym.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
I'm
I'm
working
sorry.
with it. We gonna get him.
So they do the backdoor deal, and so they'll do a backdoor deal with, say it's D.R. Harden, and they'll say, hey, we want to 10 more acres, and say so the city cannot do anything. Remember what I told you? The city is not the water authority. They have to get permission from the county, and the county supposed to let the state know, and then you guys supposed to know at the same time too. So what they do is just cut a deal, and this, oh, it's 10 acres, we can add more in. So because what I'm telling you is that it's inspection laws that is involved, and they're trying to go around it. And that's why they're add extra 10 acres. That's what they're doing to you guys right now. They're adding about another 20 acres to you, and they're doing it under the law.
Okay, stop work order. That's next?
Yep. EPA.
Okay.
If I could suggest something, if y'all have to get an engineer, I would say get the engineer first before the attorney. On the reason why, that's gonna give you a concrete evidence on an attorney taking it.
Do not hire PEC.
Whoever that is, I would just suggest it.
Thank you.
But I would hire somebody. I would need. That's not gonna be cheap, but y'all need to get an engineer because once you get that proof, that's what you can take to court. Cause that's somebody certified with a stamp Yeah,
Kristen,
and
y'all
that'll
engineer?
end a lot of that, because attorney, he's gonna need concrete evidence other than just what y'all saying. That structural engineer with the stamp is, a judge gotta take that. So just giving it to y'all. And also I suggest, y'all need to start showing up to the commissioners' meetings. Like he said, just telling y'all this, y'all got two people changing office. The current chair and the current Washington. If y'all don't come out and voice your opinion when this stuff come up, it's dead in the water. That's being honest. And like she's saying, I know she's frustrated. Nicole has been working, and that's her husband, and she's sick with cancer. I'm just helping you, and I've been talking with them. If y'all guys don't show up and push this, nobody else gonna get involved. I got people that came on here from my neighborhood, other places we came. If you guys not gonna get involved and push, please don't count other people in. We'll push. I'm donating $1,500 to help do this. Not Mal. I heard what Brian was saying about holding people. Y'all can hold them. We can hold them accountable. Everybody failed on the last two. Everything you suffering now, you can't blame it on the current administration coming in. Everybody fell asleep on those two. And while they're still in there until January, they can still let stuff loose. They take a millage rate. They're going to punish everybody for not electing them. Something should be done, just me offering. Once you're out of office, you should be a lame duck. Because now he's going to make everybody pay who didn't elect him. They're going to take that millage rate off. Whatever they can do to punish everybody before they leave, they're going to do it. That's why I say criminal charge. Y'all got to come out and support them.
Okay, that's good.
You need to go to the city one too. Please don't forget the city.
I've heard this come to the meeting, come to the meeting. Well, if the meetings happen, at 10 o'clock in the morning, some of us at work. If you're not at work, here's what I, as a citizen, who've come to these meetings, I still don't have it in my head to go up to that mic and say, here's my problem, and be able to say that. We need a leadership. We need leadership to send out a text with bullet points that we can feel comfortable going up to that mic, and then you'll get people to show up and make sure that we have the times lined out very clearly as what time that is. We were getting help, but it was coming last minute and that sort of thing. And we've never had anybody go, okay, here's what to say when you go to the mic, and it doesn't matter if we all say the same thing. Okay? So if we could get that kind of leadership helping those of us who would like to go, but don't know, we can't stay up there and say what.
So,
It's not that easy.
I just gave Miss Beasley the address. What's her title? Chief Financial Officer. Jennifer, if you got a pen, you can write it, but she's going to group text it to you. Jennifer.Rutledge at Rockdale County, spelled out, GA.gov. And you get asked to be added to the email distribution list, and you will get an email every time they come out with a new agenda for the Board of Commissioners. That's also for the Planning and Development Commission. Those are your first public meetings. Now, if it's a SUP, which is a special use permit, yeah, this is for the BOC only. But if there's a special use permit come out, then you've only got one public meeting with the planning department, and then one public meeting one public meeting with the Board of Commission. Zoning public hearings. Sorry, Charlotte's correcting me there. But that's your key, is to get on Jennifer's email list so you have the agenda and what's coming up. So you don't have to drive down 138 and see that little bitty 5x8 sign and you risk your life trying to stop on 138 to get a darn picture of it. Am I right? I think they're also working on increasing the size of those that Rockdale Department of Transportation puts out. They're the ones that put it out. Is Brian Kelly.
The other night when Janice was over, we were talking about that issue.
Right. They're gonna try to increase those signs so they're more legible.
She's talking about changing them, perhaps.
Oh, changing them?
Number on it,
next.
And a short, destination.
They can hear you.
Don't have to read anything.
It's okay. It's coming up.
Yeah, okay.
It really doesn't even pertain right now because this is already in effect. You know?
Hi, my name is
But-
Volker Russo. I've been going to a lot of these county meetings. Many times there are only like handful of people. When you really look at it, if 3 or 2 people show up for the meetings, there's no resistance, and that's what we want. You don't have to go in front of microphone and say anything.
Presence
Just sit
is
there,
everything.
and your presence means a lot. See, if 2 people show up, they're not going to listen to you.
They're going to rubber stamp that deal.
Yeah. And few times we have gone there, we realized that, oh, we came here for nothing. They already made the decision. They didn't want to even hear us. Miss Washington is on her phone texting people left and right. And next time I was going to tell her that I'll wait until you're done with her texting. I'll wait. Because I can be kind of bold at times.
We love it.
Yeah. And secondly, I would like to say nextdoor.com, Corley Sterner is putting a lot of good information out there. So go at nextdoor.com and she pretty much will tell you everything about these meetings and what has been happening.
Hey, tell them where you're from and you've seen this stuff happen before.
Oh yeah, 47 years ago I actually came from Finland. And this is exactly what they are trying to do in here too. They're gonna take your voice. We are not going to have it happen here. Yeah, in where I come from, you are not going to have a tent meeting like this. Absolutely not. The cops will come and say, if you don't leave, we are going to give you $1,000 fine and jail sentence. But then thirdly, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, I don't know if you guys would be interested in anything like this. But when you go next door, we have a lot of different kind of neighbors who are going to be involved with next door and so forth. So I was thinking, how about this? You know, money talks. We all know that. If we can somehow get the news media involved, and let's do GoFundMe page. And we inform everybody why we are doing this. And I would say we will get that 50,000 that they need. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
It comes. It'll come.
Yeah, it will come. And
You hit the right acronyms and
Closed mouths
people.
don't get fed.
Yes, because, you know, we all know we are at an emergency right now here in Rockdale. We just don't really see it yet. But it's only going to get worse until these people are out of the house.
I worked with in Walton
Thank you.
County, they did a GoFundMe when they was fighting the car industry, and in 2 weeks they had $30,000.
It's very doable.
Gotta push it.
You give this enough media exposure, you
The
make
mo-
the lawyers to do for free.
The more you share it, the more algorithms it hits.
Well, let me ask you something. Didn't y'all have the news coming out here before? Hold on, let me ask y'all something.
Yeah, they did.
I remember helping connect with, y'all doing it. So what happened with y'all guys, honestly? Because we drug out here and I'm out here. Why did y'all guys not show up to the news media to get when the news media was going to put this out?
It just, they
But
come
I'm
and
saying,
go.
no, but the people didn't show up. We ain't talking about that. The news media was coming to y'all. I passed information on to the guy as well. He was very interested in y'all's story. So I'm being honest, y'all guys, I'm honestly being flat with y'all guys have done poor showing up on this. I'm talking the news media was y'all biggest outlet. And y'all guys sat down. I know some of y'all guys sat down on this.
They did not come, but he was.
Hold on, let me tell them what happened.
So I've been in contact with John Edwards, Fox 5 News. He has been trying to get get people to come over here and interview, but I can't get anyone to, in the crew chat who is willing to speak to him about the issue. So he was supposed to come today. He actually had a funeral that he's at now. I told him it's live streaming, so he might be looking now. I don't know, but he wants to set up something again this week coming up.
You can hit them.
I cannot do it all by myself. All I can do is put the information out there. And if he tells me, okay, I want to get out there and come see people, and then when
I'm going to nominate Calvin and this gentleman right here. Yeah. We just got to stand up and ask them to do it.
What about the news media? Y'all showing up if he come out? I mean, y'all all gonna need to be there.
Well, I thought originally when Sherry Washington had her whole debacle with her law department, with her law firm, and I was getting into that, and I was telling Sophie, I'm like, we need to hold her accountable. If she's an elected official, me personally, I would resign. I couldn't show my face and be the representation of a county knowing that I let people down like that. I mean, that she just should have resigned. The other thought, I mean, I don't see how they don't come out here. This is ridiculous. Like, nobody was in those meetings that I was at with the developer, but we were assured 100% this was going to be handled with the utmost care, that Rockdale County is very stringent, and that there will be no problems with runoff and all this. I mean, you know, they kept overcompensating. Like in Sophie, I was so concerned about her because it's like right up to her house. Oh, don't worry, sir. We're going to have these retention ponds in before anything happens. We're going to have everything set up so there'll be absolutely no chance of anybody having any harm done to their homes.
You
and
know
then
better
the
too,
blasting
don't you?
starts, and then the trouble starts.
But you all are aware the county doesn't have staffed building inspectors. The county's hired a company to do their inspection. And last I heard, it was one guy. So there probably wasn't proper inspecting and accountability there on the site.
Maybe
So what
not,
it
but they
sounds,
still had to sign off on it. Somebody had to sign something saying that what they were doing was going to pass an inspection.
and that's what I would be
Okay,
pulling those
Obviously,
documents.
they didn't.
Okay, the question that I'm hearing right now that's not been addressed is who's willing to speak to the media when they come out?
Yes, let's stay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who?
Say no.
Yeah. So all those who
Don't be
have house
camera
damage,
shy, y'all.
So all of those who have
You're a homeowner.
or if you have damage done, are you willing to speak to media? That's you know, if you are, raise your hand.
That's the
I'm
problem.
willing. Robert.
Three.
Three,
You got
four.
four. You got
I have no
two back
problem
down.
saying anything, but I would like to have more information.
Three,
That's
four.
my thing.
So let's get their names.
So you got
Well, John
You know
Edwards
them?
will lead you on
We
that.
have a list going around. We have most. We probably have everyone's name. If you haven't signed one of these sheets, please do sign. It seems like we have a lot of enthusiasm going on right now. It's a new day. We didn't do what we needed to do in the past, but I'm counting on us doing what we need to do from this point forward. As homeowners in this community, I'm a homeowner right here, and I'm going to do what I can to push this effort forward. Yeah, I haven't seen direct damage, but I know if my neighbors have it, it's probably on its way. So, you know, I'm willing to support any way that I can. I have been in the trenches. I have been supporting. So I will continue to support. Now, try and be more visible.
So
How many of y'all gonna do the news again?
is Nikki still our
Get their
leader?
names. Can y'all get the names of the people gonna be on the news so y'all can get that done?
I'll write it down.
Thank you.
So I will say this. Nikki's been in the forefront, but we are all leaders. You know, this affects all of us. So don't feel, you know, like you can't step up. We can all step up. You know, Nikki is overwhelmed. I'm sure Quinn is overwhelmed. So the more assistance we can provide, the more we can take that weight off of them.
We need an organizational
Can I
structure.
come
It's not
anyway if I
ground up.
want
Absolutely.
It's not
Absolutely.
It doesn't just happen, Calvin. We need to appoint another person, because these two are tired. Another 2 or 3 or 4 people to be the leadership that we know that we're going to hear from them. Who's that going to be? We don't know.
Okay.
We probably won't be doing that today. But we know it needs to be done.
Y'all have a meeting next week, and then every month after that, on a certain, like the 5th of the month, follow up with another community meeting. Switch houses. You're not going to have that many people in the neighborhood.
right. So, but
Open your house.
If it does work out that they will see us and they'll recognize us,
contact you. So
I
when?
honestly think what we need to do is make T-shirts and have a united presence
Exactly.
of Rockdale County. So it's not this one neighborhood that we're speaking out for everybody else and
Everybody.
have something that is visible that people are looking at as they're watching the news. Like, this is the Rockdale County, this is us, and we keep building on as many people as we can get involved.
Exactly.
It will have a much better showing than
That-
5 people in a community say, "Ooh, 5 homes got damaged,"
Well,
as opposed to they're destroying our
it's the whole
community.
community. You're
Yeah, they
right.
are. They're destroying our community. Everybody
Right.
sees it.
Well, I just went to this, and it's not
It's
a
too
site
big.
yet.
Well, give me something to. But actually, I'm coming out tomorrow. The lady just said. One lady said I have been doing some groundwork, and I have been. And like you said, you got 1 or 2 that've been very exhausted. I'm trying to do what I can, and that's all we can do at this point. And I don't think you need to get yourself overly stressed about next week. Let's just do like the lady here
Step
said
by
every
step.
week. Stay on the list. Let's make sure we network as a group here, whoever's here, to expand, get your other neighbors, other friends to know what you're doing. And then you can decide when we can get the media to come, then you can decide who's available to come out, because I think, I know you guys know Nicole has family issues, so it's not just we're not tired with this. You know, you got critical stuff. So, and as well, I know I have a business or whatever, but I'll be glad I'm not a neighbor here, but because it is countywide, and
It
because,
affects
like
us
I said,
all.
this is my vision before I ever met you guys, and we were dealing with, and this gentleman here gave me like 8 subdivisions. That's what my agenda has been. I've been videotaping in mother's car, like, please don't hit me, I'm pulling over, and I'm videotaping because people sometimes don't understand when you say, you get like, I love the idea of deadline. What's the deadline? Yeah, but last week. But some people just don't get it until they see or hear it another way. But social media is the way to go. It's more powerful than just trying to get Channel 5. I've been trying for a year to get someone serious to come to my neighborhood. And then bottom line is, it ain't going nowhere. The problem's still here. It's getting worse.
Right.
I came out today. I came out here today because I'm one of the people that I used to live in this neighborhood. So when y'all posted this, it caught my eye.
Tell us who you are.
My name's Cindy Roselle. I live over on Zingara Road between High Rock and High Tower.
Near
And
the
I'm
mining.
within about a mile of the property that they approved for a dimensional stone quarry. And we had the news came out. We had our little bleep more than one time on the news. I don't think it really had much of an impact. And we went to these meetings, and Oz Nesbitt had it arranged such that he could choke off any comments we really were trying to make. It's the manipulation of the county, the signs that you were talking about, the sign giving public notice. I actually drew up a map and went into the office that puts those signs up to request that they extend the area that they were posting the signs, assuming that they were just, unaware of what they were doing. But no, it turns out not only were they fully aware that they're placing them to minimize the exposure, but they were actually timing down to the hour of when they stuck them out there to make sure they didn't give anybody a minute more exposure. The manipulation of this county of leadership is so horrific that I really think that what you were talking about, that all these different affected groups or communities, we really need to pull together. It's not gonna, I am very...
On that note, the deadlines and the action items. So based on what I've noticed, everybody's not following through. And that's a big issue. So, we need to start stepping up and following through. And if you said that you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna participate. If Nicole or Quinn ask us to do something by a deadline, you gotta be on top of that. Because again, we don't know what they're doing to, move us forward. But if we're holding them back and they're waiting on us, that's why we couldn't get the injunction done in a timely manner or the lawyer stuff, because we're waiting for either additional information from the neighborhood that they're requesting, and we're not doing it. So we can sit here every day, every other meet, whatever, and talk. But if you don't step up and be responsible for your own input, we're going to be in the same spot 6 months from now, pissed off, and your house got more damage.
Well, could I add on to what I was going to say is that I don't know, you may be doing, what you're doing is, it's fabulous that you're stepping up, and what you're doing is fabulous, but it seems to me that you kind of already have a group that if you tapped into them, Voices for Rockdale, that is a group that is in effect trying to pull everybody together, and it seems like putting your energy into utilizing that existing
I'm trying to network everybody getting together, because
but how many of y'all know Voices for Rockdale?
I haven't heard it.
They're on Facebook and next door, and it's Voices for Rockdale. Voices for Rockdale.
Larry Cox over there is doing he does a broadcast on
Sunday night,
Sunday evenings that are. I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job of inviting people from all angles to speak. I mean, he's just incredible. I don't know him, but
Nicole
but I
has
just
all the
can't believe
information
how much he's doing
on
to
all
make
those
the effort he's making to the community.
I know, but she'll be
And
back this
the
week.
last thing before I interfere with what you're trying
Quinn
to do,
just said
at
that.
one of these other meetings
She'll be back
recently
this
that
week.
probably Larry
had a
could
death in the
probably
family.
say something about it a lot more easily than I can, but Rhonda Taylor, our representative, is on top of trying to get House Bill 581 and House Resolution 1022 to pass, and as
It's already passed.
It's a 581
581
passed, right?
And now we have 1022, and it's going to be on the ballot in November. It'll be a constitutional amendment to be, and when it passes, then you'll have a floating exemption, which basically means your property taxes won't increase because your home values won't increase. Because if your property values go up $50,000 that year, then your exemption is going to go up 50 grand to match that assessed value. And it's got some other things that it changes as far as filing appeals and such. It's a really fair piece of legislation that deals with property taxes and local governments and how they've been what's called as a backdoor tax increase by property tax assessments on your properties. So that will stop that backdoor increase is what it'll do. And then, now, no, don't get me wrong. Will they be able to raise your taxes? Yes, but they'll have to do it up front and not hide behind that. They'll actually have to raise that millage rate and admit to you that the rate, and it's harder to do that than it is taking a tax increase and saying, well, we're not raising your taxes. Your property values went up. This legislation takes that excuse away from them.
You know what I'm going to need from you, Larry, is when that gets on the ballot, for you to get an early copy of that ballot and read it and tell us, is it a yes or no?
It's a yes question, and I'll do that. And I'm also going to have.
They word those things so confusing sometimes.
I've seen the ballot question. It is a yes, and I'm going to have one of the authors of the legislation, Clint Crow. He's going to come on my show, and we're going to talk about the legislation and what all it will do, and how it's going to help own homeowners. But not only that, I've got commitment from Representative Taylor and Representative Anderson that they are going to introduce some form of senior exemption for homeowners also. And we still have to work on that and what that's going to look like. And that will probably just be for school taxes. I'm not certain. I don't think it'll go for the city or go for the Board of Commission. But that's one of the things that I ran on for Board of Education to help with senior taxes with the Board of Education. And Representative Taylor and Representative Moore have both agreed to actually carry legislation to actually help with senior tax responsibilities when they, get 62 and older. And we'll see what that looks like, and it'll probably be income based, but we'll work on that and see what we can do to help senior citizens in Rockdale County with tax relief.
House Bill 581, what we need to start doing in Rockdale County is those of us who can do the research and find out the pros and the cons, we need to do that and not just think that it's going to do one thing and then it does something else and then we feel some kind of way. I know everybody might not be able to read that legislation, but you can Google, you'll hear the governor talking about it. Mr. Cox did a show on it, so you can pull up Larry's show and you'll see that he gave a lot of detail about that and explained it in more detail.
I am going to have one of the authors of the legislation.
Right. And so he's drilling down, and that's what we all need to start doing, drilling down. I know everybody may not understand what it is, but get as much information as you can.
Okay. Are we all melting yet?
Yep.
Is that a wrap?
Thank you for setting this up for you.
Yes. And thank you all for coming and loving your neighborhood to do something about it.
Stay motivated, everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Don't lose sight.